So this is a small video to communicate some of the things that have been going on currently here at the Reef House in regard to our sleep retreat and our inclusion of sleep, where you learn how to relax and rejuvenate using very supportive, easy to apply techniques. So my background has been a science background in sleep science, and I draw together information from also my 15 years of being a yoga teacher, teaching breath work, how to relax, how to be mindful, how to meditate, and also my understanding and deep knowledge in NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, to a master practitioner's level. Neuro-linguistic programming is the most fascinating aspect that actually blends together what the traditional ancient yogis have said about our well-being and our unconscious mind, and it's all about becoming conscious. And it ties together perfectly with the latest in quantum science as well, which shows that, we are the placebo. Our mind is incredibly powerful. Our body is really empty space, vibrating according to pretty much what we expect, and we basically filter our life through so many different programs, generalizing, deleting, distorting according to what we have been programmed to expect, to believe in, that keeps us safe. So putting all of this together with my 40 years or more of experience in not just studying but directly relating it to other people, teaching and embodying those traditions and that knowledge is the essence of what I bring here. So people basically can explore sleep hygiene, how to relax, how to be able to stop blocking themselves from getting the good sleep. A lot of that is to do with your light exposure. That's never happened before, that we have that kind of sound here, that kind of flying overhead. Anyway, but yeah, how we deal with things like that, the unknown or the unpredictable. Essentially, if we were to put it in a nutshell, most people are living in a stressed state and don't really know how to unwind. Now, sleep is a winding down mechanism that doesn't just start when you hit the pillow. It actually starts 2 hours before, where the body, mind, the ancient traditional self, it's not just one part, it's actually very complex. Essentially is looking for safety, is looking for an ability to unwind, so that when you do go to sleep, which is a third of your life, and you're lying there, all of the neurology works in your favor. You're not still in fight or flight, clenching the teeth, having tight shoulders, having cortisol running through your system. So people will say, yes, well, I fall asleep really well, but then I wake up at 3 in the morning as an average time. Super, super common. Unless you actually unwind, what happens is that if you look at us as an evolutionary process, in the olden days, thousands and thousands of years ago, to be able to sleep, you had to feel safe. You would be out in the open. It's a very vulnerable time. So what happens is that nowadays, what you worry about are all things that make you feel unsafe. In the past, it might have just been the saber-toothed tiger. It might have just been another tribe coming to invade you. That's still pretty stressful and probably led to a lot of stress and uncertainty and lack of sleep. But those days as well, we would have someone that guards and stays up, and some of us would sleep. There was that kind of setup. Nowadays, things are stressing us, like watching a movie that's really exciting, watching the news, scrolling on the internet. We may even have the best of intentions, but something about it is stressing us. And unconsciously, your brain will put that as, or mark this as, not safe. You can't really go into deep states of sleep. That is an evolution. That makes total sense. Your body is so intelligent, as is your mind, as is all that you are. But are we actually in tune with it, or are we going against it? So we tend to stress it out. We might play exciting games at night, like, gaming, or we might have exciting conversations late at night, or we might check our bank account or our investment portfolio, when really 2 hours before bed, the body needs to realize on many levels that it's time to go to sleep. So evening light exposure helps, relaxing your vagal tone so that it can tell the message to your respiration, to your gut, to unwind. And of course, there are many ways in which we can induce that. That's where my specialty comes in, and it seems to be all I have ever done in my life, looking for why it is that some people thrive and other people don't. What is the big difference? I feel that the biggest difference is that you can handle stress and you know how to de-stress effectively, not just pretend you don't care, but really deeply, that you somehow have nailed that, inherited that, you own that, that you actually know how to let go. You haven't had childhood trauma, you haven't inherited something from your lineage, because we do inherit 3 generations back, and we also pass on 3 generations into the future. And that is another reason why working on this is so important. So in a nutshell, if we don't know how to de-stress and recognize that sleep is a winding down process, that includes evening light ambience, that includes having habits that nourish yourself, your body, your mind to feel safe. If we don't do that, you will go to sleep, yes, because your body needs sleep. So the intelligence says, okay, we need sleep, we're gonna go to sleep, but we're gonna give the minimum or the maximum that we can afford, and in that particular situation, in your dynamics, depending on how stressed you are. So then you wake up at 3 or 4, you don't actually get a really deep sleep, you wake up feeling groggy, you're wondering why you're worrying about things in the middle of the night. And there are so many remedies that I teach for actually nailing that, for helping you to empty that stuff out, for helping you to be able to navigate your nervous system, your neurology, to be able to reassure your body-mind combination that it is safe to have a deep sleep. Now this is work, but it's so worth it. That little bit of work, the 5 minutes here, the 10 minutes there, the adjustment of some of your habits to a different time, perhaps not so close to bed, etc. They can make all the difference. It is small micro steps that are super powerful. There is absolutely no doubt about that. And put it this way, the lack of sleep is linked to so many problems that why would you want to put yourself through that? And the gaining of good sleep is related to so much success in what you really want. You're just gonna feel different. People will perceive you as different when you are well rested. When you are not well rested, you make different kinds of decisions out of a stress response. And when we're in a stress or fight or flight response and your nervous system is essentially stressed and looking for more problems and trying to survive, keeping you simple, not allowing you to grow or jump out of the box or actually follow your truth or be in touch with what really matters to you, well, then the lack of sleep is really you're paying a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of emotional energy, a lot of physical and emotional health for that lack of understanding how to really navigate your sleep. Now, the place where I'm very unique, and I've looked around and I haven't seen it out there, is that I have got the highest level of university education to understand it, as having part of a PhD, which is a graduate certificate in research. I've looked far and wide to understand the latest and the things that are effective for humans. But I've also studied very deeply on how the mind works, how we program ourselves, how our childhood affects us, how our lineage, our ancestry affects us, and what we can do about it. I have made my specialty for my Kundalini teacher training breath work, because the breath is the one thing that will regulate your nervous system in the easiest, most powerful way, and hence you will respond to the world and be perceived by the world completely different. It's like day and night. Breathwork can bring up emotions, can bring up unhealed things, so you need to do this with somebody you can trust that is properly trained. Otherwise, you may end up discovering some trauma and re-traumatizing yourself. So it's not a light-hearted thing to do. You want to do it with someone that holds space, respects, can read your face, can read your expression, and understand how to guide you and keep you really enjoying that process rather than dreading it and suffering. So there's that. There is ways in which our neurology through body movements can release stress. There's pressure points. There is supplements you can take very subtly, don't take too much. There is nighttime routines where you can program your body. There is evening techniques for de-stressing, but also ways in which to start the morning so you don't even get tangled up in that way. When you understand your priority and your choice of wanting to make that deep 1/3 of your life's worth of rest that we clearly need. It's very important. It's where you repair your DNA, it's where you repair your cells, it's where your immune system is working out what do we need, what do we get rid of, i.e. scanning for cancerous cells. It's where you regulate your weight your metabolism, your weight. It's where you neurologically, you detox your brain. There is so much stuff that we need to detox at night, literally actual chemical detoxing, not just mental processing. It's, lack of sleep is linked to brain fog, it's linked to toxicity in the brain, illnesses, tightness, feeling stuck, feeling lost. It's not worth it, is it? That's like living life in the most hardest possible way. And yet society in this point in time is addicted to scrolling, to keeping up late at night. And we must come back to remembering how good sleep is. We don't must, but we could playfully and recognize how you will feel so much better, how your youthfulness will come back, how your passion will come back or enhance, how certain things you do in survival mode, like pleasing everybody or not having boundaries, will become very clear. I have taught about these things in retreats. I have held retreats in India, in Bali. I've held many retreats around Australia where we have gone deep for a whole day into just feeling gratitude for ourselves and releasing things that no longer serve us, and being comfortable enough to create boundaries and recognizing what we need. And all of that is what I weave into my work when I help people. It's play, it's fun, it's great, but it's also very much effective. You can also structure it, you can actually have a plan. And some people here, they love that. They're really diving deep, they want the plan. Other people just adjust a few things and it's changed their life, their marriage, their relationship with sleeping and life and self-care. So yeah, this is my little summary, and as you can see, I could go on and on because there is so much depth to this, and every human is unique. We can't say the same thing to all sorts of people in this room, and I have met hundreds of people, and they're so different, and they need to be heard, validated, and have their unique approach. And after that, you're free. You can navigate sleep on a deeper level, and the benefits there are literally infinite. They're immeasurable. And I'm very passionate to make that joyful, micro steps, empowering according to what actually works for you. Like I said, I'm very holistic in the sense that I've got all the natural therapies diplomas and understood the science of things as well, plus my own experience and embodiment. So, and I'm always still learning and up-leveling, I am, because ultimately my journey is different than anyone else's, hormonally, lifestyle, what's happening, how much, empathy we have, and all of those things are very unique. And so remember that if you nourish yourself with more sleep and find a way to really calm down your nervous system in ways that really feel good for you, there are so many ways I teach. So many. I won't start now because I want to finish this video, otherwise I would start listing some of them as well. It's really worth it. Everything you want is at the end of good sleep. Energy, passion, libido, being able to conceive, having more fun, remembering who you are, being really present to life rather than moving through it in a kind of fight or flight stress response. Being able to navigate change, not feeling really frightened, and having that add on to your fight and flight response from perhaps childhood or a tough midlife or end of life. It's really, really, really worth it. And remember, some things may have worked for you and some things may not have worked for you. You need to trust those things that feel good and journey from there step by step to empower yourself. Trust yourself. That's the most important thing, because your journey is unique. I honor that and I'm passionate about that. So that's it in a nutshell. Lots of positive feedback here, people smiling, feeling they're stuck and their face becoming soft, going, wow, I really have learned a lot. I can really shift that. I have started shifting it. And there's this softness in their face. I see that because I'm trained to see that. Their whole physiology changes. It's amazing. So you don't need to be stressed and stuck. Let me know your thoughts and I will answer them as much as I can when I get a chance. And see you soon. Namaste, ciao, and have a wonderful time exploring the millions of facets of how you can get deeper, restful sleep. What else can I say? Well, magnesium, optimized pillow, optimized temperature. And how do you know how to navigate that? I've got all that knowledge to share that's current. And of course, there will be more updates coming in science and research. And at the same time, like I said, what works for one may not work for someone else. You still need to find what is really, really working for you amongst all the maze of information out there. That's really, really important, especially these days. All right. I hope you enjoyed the information. Let me know your thoughts and you can follow me on my website. You can subscribe to updates, newsletters, relaxation meditations to help you go to sleep and so many other things. Okay then, ciao for now.